A brand new Lord of the Rings elf to the longest Spider-Man movie ever made, this week's movie news is packed with surprises. Jim Carrey might be heading back to Whoville, Mad Max isn't done yet, and a horror sequel just dropped a big tease. Stick around because you do not want to miss any of this. Hollywood had a huge week of news, and we'll break it down all of it for you right here. From Ocean's 11 to Evil Dead, from Transformers to the Grinch, big franchises are making big moves. Let's get straight into the stories everyone is talking about. Warner Bros.' new Ocean 11 prequel may have found its bad guy. The Hollywood Reporter says Oscar nominee Wagner Moura is now talking with the studio about joining Margot Robbie and Bradley Cooper in the film. Moura got a Best Actor Oscar nod, won a Golden Globe, and took home the top acting prize at Cannes, all for his movie The Secret Agent. He's said to be in line to play the story's main villain. Bradley Cooper is directing, writing, producing, and starring in the movie, while Margot Robbie is starring and helping produce it through her company, Lucky Chap Entertainment, along with Tom Ackerley. The film is set in the 1960s around the 1962 Monaco Grand Prix, and it tells the story of Danny Ocean's parents, Danny being the character George Clooney made famous. At CinemaCon, Robbie gave fans a hint, saying before Danny Ocean ever stepped foot in Vegas, two masterminds taught him everything he knows, his parents. A few directors came and went on this project before Cooper took charge, including Jay Roach and Lee Isaac Chung. Warner Bros. Has already set the release date for June 25th, 2027. Now, fans just want to know if Moura's deal will close. Obsession has become one of the year's biggest horror surprises, and now director Curry Barker is opening up about where the story could go next. Made on a tiny budget of just $750,000, the film has earned close to $290 million worldwide, making it Focus Features' biggest hit ever. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, Barker said he already has an idea for a follow-up but won't share details yet. In his words, "I have such a cool idea for it that I won't say." He also made clear he's in no rush, saying he doesn't want to jump straight into Obsession 2 and thinks fans would be just as excited even if it took a few years to arrive. Barker hinted the next chapter might not even follow Nikki's story directly. Instead, he's floated turning the One Wish Willow concept into an anthology, with new characters making their own wishes. For now, Barker is busy with his next film, Anything But Ghosts, and an upcoming reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Producer James Harris confirmed that no official sequel talks have started yet, though that could change soon. Disney just named the director for Lilo Stitch 2, and it's a name fans will love. Hollywood Reporter says Chris Sanders will direct the live-action sequel. Sanders helped create the original 2002 animated movie, co-wrote it, co-directed, and even voiced Stitch in that film and in the 2025 live-action version. The first live-action Lilo and Stitch, directed by Dean Fletcher Camp, became a huge hit. It made over $1 billion around the world and pulled in more than $423 million just in the US. Now Sanders is stepping in to write and direct the follow-up, taking over from Fletcher Camp. This won't be a remake of an old animated sequel. Disney says the story will be brand new. Producer Jonathan Elrich is coming back through his company Rideback, with Ryan Halpern on board as executive producer. Disney has set the release date for May 26, 2028, exactly 3 years and 3 days after the first live-action film hit theaters. Filming is expected to start later this year. With the man who built Stitch from the ground up now leading the sequel, fans feel good about where this story is headed. The mystery is solved. Anna Taylor-Joy has officially joined The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, and we now know who she's playing. Variety and The Hollywood Reporter confirmed she'll take on the role of Saren, a brand new character made just for this film. She's a Sindar elf from the Woodland Realm, described as a trusted and deadly agent working for King Thranduil, played by Lee Pace. This isn't an old character from the books. Saren was created for just this movie, so fans don't have much to go on yet, but the role puts Taylor-Joy right in the middle of the action. She joins a stacked cast. Andy Serkis is directing and returns as Gollum. Ian McKellen comes back as Gandalf, and Elijah Wood returns as Frodo. New additions include Kate Winslet as Margol and Leo Woodall as Halvard, a ranger from the north. The film reunites the team behind the original trilogy with Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, and Philippa Boyens producing. The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum hits theaters worldwide on December 17, 2027. The Mad Max franchise might not be done just yet. Director George Miller is reportedly working on a new movie and a TV series in the post-apocalyptic world, even after his last film struggled at the box office. This comes from a report by Matt Belloni's Puck News. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, came out in 2024 with a $168 million budget, but it only made about $174 million worldwide. That's a small profit for a film that big, and it counts as a disappointment, especially since the movie got strong reviews and starred Anna Taylor-Joy as Furiosa, along Chris Hemsworth. Because of the result, Warner Bros., the studio behind all 5 Mad Max films so far, has reportedly passed on funding Miller's new plans. But Miller isn't giving up. Sources say Amazon, Universal, and Sony Pictures are all showing interest in stepping in as a new partner. The plan is said to include one more Mad Max movie from Miller, followed by a TV series in the same world. Nothing's locked in yet, and there's no release date or studio deal so far, but the franchise looks far from finished. Spider-Man Brand New Day just set a new record before it even hits theaters. AMC Theaters has listed the film's runtime at 150 minutes, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes. That makes it the longest Spider-Man movie ever made, beating out Spider-Man No Way Home, which ran 148 minutes. The runtime also puts Tom Holland's 4th solo Spider-Man film near the top of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Only 3 MCU movies run longer: Avengers Endgame at 181 minutes, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever at 161 minutes, and Eternals at 156 minutes. The film follows Peter Parker as he deals with a world where the people closest to him no longer remember who he is. The cast brings back Zendaya as MJ and Jacob Batalon as Ned, along with John Barenthal as the Punisher and Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. Stranger Things star Sadie Sink also joins the MCU in a role still kept under wraps. Marvel Studios has not officially confirmed the runtime, but listings from several major theater chains all match up. Spider-Man Brand New Day swings into theaters on July 31st, 2026. A new Grinch movie may be heading to Whoville. A Hollywood Reporter and Deadline say Jim Carrey is in talks to return as the Grinch, with Ron Howard set to direct again for Universal and his Imagine Entertainment Company. The original How the Grinch Stole Christmas came out in 2000 and was a massive hit, making $345 million worldwide and winning an Oscar for its makeup work. Howard would produce the new film alongside longtime partner Brian Grazer. The script is being written by Alec Berg, Jeff Schaefer, and David Mandel, a trio known for their work on Curb Your Enthusiasm. No title or plot details have been shared yet, and talks are still ongoing. Worth noting, not everyone agrees the deal is locked in. While most trade reports say Carrey is in negotiation to return, a separate report from People say Carrey's representative denied he's reprising the role. Carrey has spoken about how tough the Grinch makeup process was, once saying it took about 8 hours a day in the chair. For now, fans will have to wait for an official confirmation from Universal. The next chapter of the Evil Dead franchise just finished filming. Evil Dead Wrath, directed by Francis Galuppi, has wrapped production in Auckland, New Zealand, where past entries in the series have also been shot. Galuppi is best known for directing The Last Stop in Yuma Country. Producer Rob Tappert revealed new details about the film during a talk at Michigan State University. He confirmed that Evil Dead Wrath is set in 1972, 9 years before the original 1981 film, making it a prequel to the franchise. This is yet another great departure, Tappert said. It predates everything. It takes place in 1972. The film stars Charlotte Hope, Jessica McNamee, Zach Gilfer, Josh Hellman, Ella Newton, Ella Oliphant, and Elizabeth Cullen. Sam Raimi and Rob Tappert are producing, with Ramel Adam, Jose Cañas, Lee Cronin, and Bruce Campbell serving as executive producers. Reports say the film will use a warm, grainy visual style that is meant to look like it was shot in the early 1970s. Evil Dead Wrath is set for release on April 7th, 2028, though Warner Bros. Pictures in US and Sony Pictures internationally. It follows Evil Dead Burn, which hits theaters July 10th, 2026. Paramount and Hasbro have found their writer for the next Transformers movie. The Wrap exclusively reports that Jason Fuchs, known for writing HBO's It, Welcome to Derry, has been hired to write an untitled new script. Plot details are still being kept secret. Lorenzo di Bonaventura, Mark Verdon, Michael Bay, Tom DeSanto, and Dawn Murphy will produce, while Steven Spielberg and Hasbro Entertainment will serve as executive producers. This isn't the only Transformers project in the works. Derek Connolly, who wrote Jurassic World, is also writing a separate Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie for the studio. The new film is expected to continue the story after 2023's Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which ended with Anthony Ramos's character Noah Diaz being offered a job with G.I. Joe in a post-credits scene. The franchise has had a mixed box office history lately. Rise of the Beasts made $429 million worldwide, while 2024's animated Transformers won just $128.7 million, the lowest total in the series so far. This comes after the Michael Bay directed films once ranked among the biggest blockbusters in Hollywood, with Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon both topping $1 billion worldwide. Fuchs is one of Hollywood's busiest writers right now. His past films have earned over $1.9 billion combined, and he's also writing a live-action My Hero Academia movie for Netflix and Legendary. That's everything we've got for you on this week's biggest movie news. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.